making it possible to bring Hannibal de Barca the symphony to the United States and contributing to the promotion of Tunisia and of its culture. And it is with great pleasure that I would like to introduce him. And I thank you very much and have an enjoyable evening. Minister Ayed.
Celebration the friendship between Tunisia and the United States. There is no better occasion than to celebrate the first anniversary of the Tunisian Revolution. One that started a year ago and spread like a fire throughout the Arab world and the world at large. I want to put you at ease. I'm not going to make a speech as Minister of Finance, former Minister of Finance, but as a humble and modest and amateur music composer. And I'm so happy to share my music with you tonight. But having invested most of my career in finance, people do often ask me, how do you tally finance and music? And my answer is always that my experience shows that music is badly financed, and finance is badly inspired. And by investing in both, that's how I keep a balanced portfolio. Many Tunisians came tonight to celebrate with you this momentous event. About 25 musicians are here. They came all the way from Tunis. And I've been told a wonderful story. I've been told that whilst it was agreed that they were going to be occupying a section of the stage, their American colleagues have insisted that they mingle with them so that they share with them this wonderful moment. And I think that is really the spirit tonight. We came from Tunisia with a message of friendship, a message of love, a message of faith, and a message of gratitude. We will never forget the speech that President Obama made before Congress, in which he hailed the Tunisian Revolution and actually compared it to the American Revolution. And we will also never forget Secretary Clinton when she came to Tunisia and spoke on Tunisian television from her heart. She spoke as a mother, as a sister, and as a friend, and that has touched so many Tunisians. So, gratitude is also the word of order tonight. And I should add that the Tunisian Revolution is, of course, marks a momentous event in this early 21st century, but many of you may not Tunisia very well. Obviously, if you lay a map, a world map on the table, and you put your finger on Tunisia, chances are you will cover it with your fingertip. So it is a small country, but it is a large and big country if you measure it to its civilization and history. Let me give you a few facts that you may or may not know. Do you know that Tunisia is the birthplace of democracy? And that it started actually during Hannibal's time, in Carthage. If you read Aristotle, that's what he says. It's in Tunisia that was formed the first republic. Tunisia also was the first country in the Arab world to have abolished slavery in 1846. Tunisia was the first country in the Arab world to have drafted a constitution. Tunisia was the first country to have abolished polygamy and had set forth equal rights for men and women in 1956. And Tunisia would go into history as being the first country to have initiated the first cyber revolution in the history of mankind. Using American technology. And in fact, if you were to visit some of the Facebook or some of the pages of the young Tunisian Facebook pages, you will find a sentence that keeps coming back. I am proud to be Tunisian. And they have every reason to be proud. So anyway, I've been asked to make my speech short, so as Wagner said, music starts there where stops the power of words. And so I would like to say a few words about the program tonight. In a short while, you will see a short promotional movie about Tunisia, and those of you who have not visited Tunisia, you will get some ideas, graphic ideas about Tunisia. Then, as a prelude for this concert, we have chosen a beautiful piece by Verdi, The Force of Destiny. And the reason we have chosen this piece is because we have made a connection with a very famous poem by one of the most better-known poets in the Arab world. He's Tunisian. He died at the age of 30. And he said something wonderful. I will say it in Arabic, and I will translate. إذا الشعب يوما أراد الحياة فلا بد أن يستجيب القدر. If the people were to long for life and freedom, the force of destiny ought to answer their call. And that verse is one that actually is part of our national anthem. And I should say that this is the first time in the history of our country that the national anthem has been played by a Philharmonic orchestra, and it has been arranged by Mr. Jean-Charles Biondien, and what a wonderful job he did. So that's the first. After that, we go straight to Hannibal Barca, the symphony. Hannibal Barca, it took me 4 years to compose, simply because I had to find time between my investment and credit files. And it was pre-premiered in Casablanca for the first time by the Philharmonic Orchestra of Morocco. And it was premiered actually at the Carthage Festival, which is only becoming, and then in Erjan. But this is the first time that we played in this wonderful hall in Washington, D.C., the capital of freedom and democracy. And people ask me, well, what do you make the connection between Hannibal and the Tunisian Revolution? And what I say is that, look, Hannibal left Tunisia at the age of 11 and had such an amazing impact on the course of history of mankind. And then it took 23 centuries for a spark to be ignited in Tunisia and to have such a tremendous impact on the history of mankind again. That's the relationship. So, 3 movements. The first one will glorify Carthage and will introduce our hero. The second movement, which is my preferred one, I should say that, is the long crossing of the Alps and the Pyrenees. And it ends up with a dance of victory, as Hannibal, his elephants, and his soldiers were able to cross one of the most difficult obstacles in the world. And the third movement is a glorious march in the streets of Carthage, one that Hannibal never had during his lifetime. So we have celebrated that in music, and it's only just a splendor to this great hero of our country. So without further ado, and before I let the music speak and tell you a much better story than I do, let me express again my thanks and add to what the ambassador said to everyone who has contributed to make this event a successful one, or I hope it will be. First of all, Ambassador Taqiya and the staff members of the embassy, who have been working very, very hard with the Kennedy Center, and I would like to express special thanks to the Kennedy Center for having accepted, first of all, to host this event, and for having graciously offered this wonderful hall for us to organize it. And we've been working very hard and working every detail so that you can enjoy this moment tonight. And I would like to express, obviously, thanks to the corporate sponsors, both Tunisian and American, who have contributed to finance part of the cost of this event. I would like to express a special thanks to very dear friends of mine, Ammar and Sophie Matisse. Sophie is the great-granddaughter of the famous painter Matisse. She's with us here, and she's a painter herself, and a great painter. And she graciously offered 2 paintings to contribute in covering some of the cost of this event tonight. And I'd like to express, obviously, thanks to all my friends and all of those who came from all over the United States and all over the world. And many friends came from Tunisia, very dear friends, who insisted to share this moment with us. I'd like to express special thanks to the Peace Corps volunteers. There are many of them here tonight. When I was a student, I used to teach French and Arabic to Peace Corps volunteers. Many of them became friends, and that friendship really lasted. The best evidence of that, there are about 30 of them present here in the hall tonight. So thank you very much for being here. And let me tell you a little story which you'll find interesting. There's a gentleman here, his name is Rashid bin Abdul Qadir, and he was teaching with me at the Peace Corps volunteers in Tunisia 30 years ago. It took us 30 years that we haven't met, and music got us together again, because when we presented Hannibal Barca in Casablanca for the first time, he was part of the Tunisian musicians who came to Casablanca and took part in that performance. And that's when we reconnected again. Rashid, his wife, and I wrote the only English Tunisian Arabic dictionary. And he's here tonight with me. See how life can provide us with wonderful stories. So thank you again. Thank you for sharing this moment. There is no better sharing than the sharing of music. And I'm so happy to offer my music to you tonight. And I'm so happy to offer you, again, expression of friendship and love from the Tunisian people. And I hope you enjoy the music. God bless you, God bless Tunisia, and enjoy the show. Thank you very much.